Before I start this video, if you want there to be a giveaway of the GWolves Hati-S Ace Edition, which is the mouse I'm reviewing in this video, make sure you hit that like button. Once I hit 35, 40, 45 likes, depending on my mood, I will be announcing a giveaway for this mouse. So if this video gets enough traction, I will be giving away this mouse. So make sure you share this video with all your friends and all that stuff, and then you can have a chance of winning this giveaway. But let's get on with the video. Okay, so we're reviewing the GWolves Hati-S Ace Edition. The only difference between this and the non-Ace Edition is the fact that it's kind of got a fancy color scheme, comes in a very nice metal box, but more on that. Now before I start this review, if you want to ask any questions or you want to argue with me, Instagram and Discord are linked in the description, or you can ask away in the comments. I reply to everything everywhere. So let's talk about this gaming mouse. It's the most important thing, first and foremost, its shape. The shape of a gaming mouse determines whether it's right for you personally. Pretty much all gaming mice are going to give you a good experience when it comes to the switches, the sensor and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about the shape. So the shape of this mouse is pretty unique. But on the surface from a distance it looks like a Model O, but it's absolutely tiny. Here, it's a mouse designed specifically for claw and fingertip grips. So if you're trying to palm this mouse, unless you have very petite hands, then not a good idea at all. My hands is 17 cm by 9 cm, by the way, just for your information so that you can compare. But if you're trying to palm this mouse, don't do it, because the back of your palm will be rubbing against the mouse pad the whole time you're using this mouse. It's not a good experience, it's not a good idea, so look elsewhere. Now, in terms of the shape specifics, on the front of the mouse, I like the mouse clicks being quite low. There are grooves on the mouse clicks itself to guide your two fingers to clicking it, which is good. But I like the fact that the mouse clicks are nice and low. It makes it very easy to click and click really quickly. I don't like mouse clicks that are very elevated and raised. They put a lot of tension on my hand muscles and stuff. It feels very tiring, and I'd rather a nice low mouse click. All super convenient. I like the scroll wheel as part of its shape. You know, it's not super high up, so it's very easy to move my fingers over and reach the scroll wheel as well. Now on the sides we have grooves that guide your thumb, your pinky and your forefinger into position as you claw or fingertip grip it. There's slight grooves here, and this is a bit reduced, you know, the size and the depth of the grooves. It's a bit reduced by the fact that there is rubber grip tape on the sides. Now this rubber grip tape is actually optional. It's an accessory that comes in a box. You can don't put rubber on your grip on the side of your mouse if you want to save weight, or if you don't like rubber on your mouse. But I like the rubber grip tape that I put on here, and it's very, very nice, and it has slight grooves kind of angling upwards to its back. Pretty standard mouse shape, and it guides your fingers very nice, which makes for a very nice, comfortable grip experience. Now, there's a slight elevation and kind of bump on the sides towards the back, and that really gives you a little bit of support for your thumb and your pinky and your forefinger, but not much, because it's a pretty flat mouse in terms of its shape. It's not super curvy and super groovy. It doesn't have a lot of guiding grooves and stuff there, but it does give a little bit of support, so if you care about that, it's there. Now in terms of the arch of the mouse, the general arch at the back of the mouse, it's nice, it's definitely there, it gives you a little bit of support, although you won't really feel it with a claw grip. It's not too big, which is important, because I think mice that are too high at the back are very uncomfortable for most people to use, and I generally won't recommend a mouse. Okay, so that's the mouse shape itself. So in conclusion, for the mouse shape alone, it's pretty good for anyone who just wants a claw and fingertip grip gaming mouse and use that religiously and exclusively. But if you want to palm grip your mouse sometimes, this is not kind of that hybrid mouse for you. But if it's a really tiny mouse, it's awesome and compact for doing claw and fingertip grips. So if you're really try hard and sweaty in your FPS game, this might be the right shape for you, assuming it's the right size. I think it's extremely comfortable to use all those grips, and because it's so dedicated, it can be really small, which saves weight, which is even better. Now, since I'm on the topic of weight, let's talk about design and build quality, because that's all related to its weight. Now the weight itself, I'm going to put it up on the screen. It's very nice and light, no problems here. Use a mouse bungee with it, you're gonna have a good time. Now, but the design and build quality of this mouse is very, very nice, mostly. So the design is nice. This Ace Edition has kind of this black matte plastic with paint speckled look on it, which I think looks super cool and super like hip and super unique, which is awesome. Blue accents on the scroll wheel and the mouse switches welcome. And I think in general it looks very nice from a distance or up close. But the thing, it doesn't really matter, because your hand's gonna be covering it all the time. Now this is this kind of ultralight mouse with holes punched into them to, you know, save weight by reducing the plastic used. And my problem with these kind of gaming mice is that it gets very dirty very fast, so make sure you clean it. But overall, despite having holes punched into them, the build quality is still reasonably okay. It does creak a little bit when you kind of press it and flex it around a little bit, but in actual normal use, you don't really feel any sort of creaks or anything all around. So that's design and build quality out of the way. Let's talk about the button layouts here, just for your information. So the button layout of this gaming mouse is pretty standard. You've got your left and right clicks. It's all on-run switches, which some people don't like, but never had an issue with them, so I can't really comment on their double click issues that many people have reported. The scroll wheel is clickable as well, and I think the resistance of the scroll wheel is pretty nice. It's pretty well stepped, but it's not too difficult to scroll really quickly on it to do things like bunny hop. There's a button behind the scroll wheel for changing your DPI by default, but I think you can change this in software, and you got two thumb buttons that look like the standard thumb buttons. Now there is one more thumb button on the left side, which is actually just part of the plastic shell itself. Now I initially thought this mouse was just creaking and it was just poor build quality, but turns out there's a button there on the thumb area itself, and it's kind of like a hidden button. You have to press the whole plastic surface to actually activate it, and with the rubber grip tape on, I didn't realize that it was an actual switch, which is kind of interesting, but I guess it works. I'm going to play the sound of the mouse clicks now. Okay, so those are the sound. I think it sounds pretty normal, pretty fine, and overall it's very responsive. All the buttons are clicky and they get the job done, so there's nothing much there. Now on the bottom you also have a nice mouse feet, which you actually can replace no problem easily. If I'm not wrong, it does come with replacements in the box, and a nice switch for changing the report rate, so the polling rate of this mouse from 250Hz to 1000Hz depending on what you want exactly, although I just leave it at 1000Hz and have no issues then. Here you also find the sensor, and the sensor is the classic PMW3389, and that sensor is the GOAT sensor. It's pretty much perfect. I mean, Logitech and Razer has their own kind of altered version of the 3389, but the fundamental technology is mostly the same. And with this sensor, the common saying is, if you can't aim with this sensor, you can't aim. It's not the fault of the sensor. It's a really good sensor, and it's gonna get the job done no matter what mouse it's put in. So yeah, very nice sensor here over as well. On the front of the mouse, you actually find kind of the micro USB port, and this is where you actually install the cable. So this cable is nice and light blue. It's a special thing as part of the Stardust edition. But if you like a black cable, you can actually get a nice black cable. It does come in the box along with the accessories, but I like this sky blue cable because it fits the color theme very well. It's light, it's paracorded, and it's a braided cable that doesn't feel too stiff, so it's absolutely excellent. Now, what I don't like about this micro USB port, despite the fact that, you know, it's a removable cable, we should be celebrating it, is that this port is kind of proprietary. You have to get a really tiny micro USB connector on your cable, or a very specific shape one, just to use it with this mouse. So don't be going around and just buying random micro USB-C cables expecting it to work with this mouse, no problem, because the area where you can install the cable, it's very nice and good for having a secure fit, but it just means that you can't use anything but the proprietary cables. But thankfully they do provide you with a spare in the box. Speaking about what's in the box, let's talk about the accessories that do come in the box. It comes with some extra rubber grip tape so that you can kind of adjust and stick it on however you want to fit your comfort level. As you can tell from this mouse, it has the side grip tapes, although you might not want to put the side grip tapes. You know, your palms are sweaty, mum's spaghetti, and it slides all over the place in an intense CS session, which is not what you want at all. And apart from that as well, inside the box you get a cleaning kind of pad, cleaning cloth, so that you can clean the area before you apply said grip tape, which is very good for getting a good consistent stick. That's actually very important. Very nice attention to detail here. And of course, you also get some replacement mouse switches. Why do I say of course? Well, not really. Of course, it's a very rare thing to get replacement switches inside the box with it, but it's nice to see it come with some extra replacement switches. It also does come with extra mouse feet, although the guy who sold me this mouse didn't actually include it in the box, so I can't actually show you what it looks like. But hey, if it does wear out, you can replace it, no problems. Those are the accessories. Now actually, I want to go back to the earlier point about design. I forgot to mention this, but you can change all the button layouts and all the stuff in software, as well as the RGB lighting. The RGB lighting looks kind of funky, and I personally never ever use it, and I recommend you don't too, because let's be honest, it's black and blue. If you were to put red or any color except light blue as your RGB color, it's gonna look atrocious, so there's that. And personally, if I were to, you know, keep this mouse long term and mod it, I would probably just rip out the RGB to save even more weight, because why not? Let's go for the lightest mouse we can. And it comes in a nice metal box, which you can use to keep your Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Master cards down the line when you stop gaming and start playing card games or something. I don't know. It's a very nice metal box. I like that metal box a lot, so that's awesome. And that's cool. That's pretty much it for all aspects of this gaming mouse. I think it's time for the conclusion. I think this is an excellent gaming mouse, the Hati-S, and in particular the Ace Edition because of its fancy look. But I think in general, for most people, this might be a bit of an extreme mouse for you. Unless you're very sure that all you use is a claw and fingertip grip at all times, then this mouse might not be the right one for you just because it's so small. It's not a mouse that you can kind of relax for a bit and end up using a palm grip in certain situations, because when you palm this mouse, it's literally impossible to use because your hand is literally, half your hand is literally on the mouse. So if you only exclusively claw and fingertip grip all the time, even in when you're just typing emails or something, then okay, this mouse might be a good choice for you just because it's so dedicated and so specialized. The shape just might be perfect for you. But if you're someone who kind of has a hybrid grip or is kind of lazy with the grip sometimes, this probably isn't a good idea just because it's so damn specialized. But either way though, it's an absolutely interesting mouse and an absolutely quality mouse that I can recommend to anyone who specifically needs a claw or fingertip grip style of mouse. At its price, which is about 70 to 80 US dollars, it's not the cheapest, but it's a pretty average price, and for the quality that you get, it's pretty good. So I guess then that's it for this review. Hope you guys enjoyed it or found this video helpful. Now, this channel is really small and I would love to give away this gaming mouse. In fact, I'm planning to, but because my channel is so small, you know, I need you guys to like boost the video. So make sure you like and subscribe, and if I get 35 likes on this video, I will give away this GWolves Hati-S. So make sure you share that video and all that stuff, and make sure people like it, because once I hit that like threshold, I will announce a video where I'm giving away this mouse, because I don't need it. And I will probably not switch from my G305 for a long time. This is pretty much my perfect GOAT mouse. Anyway, that's it for this video. It's gone on long enough. I'll see you guys next time, which is tomorrow, because I do daily uploads. Goodbye.